I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I think one of the most frustrating experiences for a woman in a relationship is asking a man to do this, that, and the third, asking him to change, improve, be responsive to the things that you're communicating that you need, and then him waiting until you no longer even care about it to actually deliver. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think as a woman, one of the most frustrating, if not angering experiences is seeing a man deliver everything that you knew that you deserved from day one, but only after you can no longer receive it. You can no longer believe in it. You can no longer enjoy it. You no longer were invested, almost as if like a knee-jerk reaction to your heart finally being shut off. And not shut off because you're just a cold-hearted person, but shut off for repair from all the things that he did to it. Y'all let me know down in the comments if I'm on point or off basis when I say that. That it's probably something that even as men, we think that you're supposed to be so happy. We got our act together. Here's all the things you asked for. Here's the good treatment. Here's the consistency. Here's the loyalty. Here's the communication. Here's the compassion in our voice whenever we talk to you. Here's the accountability. When we deliver all of that, once you ain't even got no appetite for it no more. Here it is on the plate, but it's cold. It's stale. It's expired. That's got to be one of the most frustrating experiences as a woman. And I'm just your big brother, so I honestly can't speak for y'all. I have some experience. I've been doing this over a decade now, helping people sort through these things and heal and be encouraged. But I'm just going to go off what I've seen. And the reason why I want to bring this up, first off, y'all know after my master classes that I do a few times a year, I do a Q&A. The last one was 7 traps an empath must never ignore. And I saw one of the messages. Actually, I literally read every single one of them, but this one in particular, it caught my attention because she sounds just like the rest of you who have this issue. And it's like, it's not hate for the man, but you're not even sure why the numbness. Like, you don't even care. You thought you wanted all these different things from a man. You thought you wanted him to show up, and you spent so much time trying to get him to get it, to understand it. And by the time that he did, you just wanted him to get out of your face. And I've heard that before. And let me say this, there's a reason why men learn too late. But before we even go forward with this, because I already answered the young lady who submitted that question after the last masterclass, which I posted in the comments, by the way, just now, and it's pinned. But put I down in the chat if you've ever been in that situation as a woman. Ask them for this, ask them for that. Or in a relationship, it was just so trash, but then years on down the line, you just see him doing all these things. And it's too late. Even though he may be expressing genuine, sincere desire to run it back with you, you just cannot open your heart again. Put I down in the chat if that's ever been you. Said, gave my baby daddy last chance and he's still on some BS. I have no control over how he's supposed. So Nicole, he had another chance. You one of the graceful ones that gave him another chance and he still fumbled it. But let me tell you why. The number one reason why a man will learn too late is because he doesn't think there's a such thing as too late. Y'all love so hard. Y'all love so thoroughly and so fully that a man cannot fathom there ever being an end to something so abundant. He can't put it in his mind that this is finite. This is coming to an end. Unless you replenish it, this is coming to an end. Unless you do right by it, unless you continue to earn it, this is coming to an end. And you see, like those vital things, say water, oxygen, these things that we need that are extremely valuable. We can easily, if we're immature in the mind as a man, I'm gonna just tell y'all straight up, so you don't think it's on you, because it's really not. But water, oxygen, vital to our survival. We can get so familiar with it that we let it just be out of sight, out of mind. We don't think about whether or not water's gonna come out the tap, or whether or not water be in a bottle, or whether or not when we go outside we can, or inside we can breathe and get full oxygen. So even though this thing is so vital, because we as humans, honestly, we just get so used to something, oh, it ain't going nowhere. And it's so important to us. It's like, of course, they ain't going nowhere. All the important things is going to just be here for us, available at all times. Same thing goes for the love of a good woman. Now, is it right? No. The whole point of me telling you this is like, why is he learning too late? Why not me? Why he didn't choose me to do these things with? Why he wanted to hurt me, break me first in order to finally love me? Why did I have to go through hell just to get to heaven? When I came in giving him heaven, why did I have to do this? I'm here to tell any woman listening within the sound of my voice, sis, it was not your fault. It was not your fault. No, you weren't supposed to wait even longer. No, you weren't supposed to explain even more emphatically and more in depth or send longer messages. No, you weren't supposed to go talk to the lady for him or force him to go or no, stop putting it on you. Release yourself of any shame of a man who learned too late how to handle you. First off, a lot of times he really ain't learned nothing. He just got a better presentation of the same old BS he about to bring back to your doorstep. But let me say this to my brothers, because I already know, like, y'all, I get so much hate bashing every time I get up here. People, Derek, you ain't perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and I've done a lot of growing. But let me say this. I don't care how you feel about me. To any man watching this, there's a war on families. I don't know if you've been looking around lately, but everything that's getting put out by the media is about dividing up the family. And we got podcasts that's pitting men versus women. We got hypersexualization. So we only want to objectify women. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But one thing we got to wake up and understand at some point, fellas, is that there's a war on families. And the enemy's greatest weapon is a foolish man. Ask me how I know. I've been there myself. And there's one hell of a price to pay if you're not willing to come out of that foolishness. And so for me, I'm hoping for somebody else out there, like some man out there or some woman that's going to hit the share button so other men can get this message. You wake up before it's too late. You see, I'm never going to tell you what you're doing is wrong without giving you a solution. I'm never going to tell you anything harsh to hear from a heart posture trying to break you down. This is all to pull you up. They deserve better, but we deserve better from ourselves, and we can be better. That's what I'm getting at. And the reason why I say this is because as much as I get a lot of you sisters out there, you hitting me up and saying this, that's why, I get a lot of guys even whenever you bashing me, bro, I read your messages. And what I'm seeing is the same ego that's plagued me before. I get it. And I'm going to tell y'all something y'all may not know. A lot of what's happening today are men who have done a good thing or been good in a certain space. And from there, they think it's set it and forget it. If you are a man and you went playing out in the dating phase, however you did, or maybe in previous relationships and you played around, yes, you may have established yourself in a new relationship in a completely different headspace, but the same way that a woman's love is perishable, honestly, bro, your decision-making is perishable. For the rest of your life, you got to, what the Bible calls die to your flesh, but for the rest of your life, you got to get up and choose the man that you originally committed to be. Don't even do it for the woman. I know it's a lot of women watching this right now. This conviction got to come from you. She can't make you be a man. She can't make you be a man. She can't make you walk with integrity. She can't make you hold those boundaries. Even if she's amazing and does all these things, because a lot of guys, again, a foolish man is the enemy's greatest weapon against the family structure. Because it starts with us. But she can't make you do any. So some of y'all, you got this idea of a woman as though she gonna save me from my bad character so long as she do what she supposed to do. No, what a woman will do is this, bro. She gonna come in, she gonna treat you right, she gonna give you this dopamine hit. It's gonna feel good. You gonna feel in love. And of course, it's easy to be good whenever you in love. But this ain't about her getting the in love version of you. Either you're an evolved man, a good man, or you're not at an integrity level. And all that comes down to is what you choose every day. It's not set in stone. Once you, just the same way our physical bodies, I'm about to go to the gym in a little bit. The same way we got to get money, you got to go to work every day, right? So the same way these things are perishable, if we don't get up every day and grind and earn and reset the tone, and it's over with. Now, why am I saying all of this? Because a lot of us learned too late, because at one point we thought we had it all figured out and we put our guard down. We got soft. We got very complacent. We got comfortable. And so what a lot of y'all see is that the man, he didn't necessarily learn too late. He learned, and then he forgot what he learned. He never updated the lesson. He didn't use it, so he lost it. You know, you say you use it or you lose it. He didn't use it, so he lost it. A lot of guys come in. That's why y'all be thinking, oh, it's honeymoon phase. It's a narcissistic mask. I'm going to tell you something. way more than even narcissists. And I'm fully aware that narcissists exist. There are a lot of men who simply get comfortable. They get complacent. Sis, I'm talking to y'all now, sisters. They get complacent. Oh man, I showed up. I proved to myself for 2 weeks I could show up as this good man and do my thing, and not think about no other women, make her safe and secure, so I'm good. No, brother, every single day. So what happens is, a lot of times in these relationships, even though it gets turned around on you, it's not really on you. It's a lot of men who are foolish enough to think that the woman is the reason why he is the way that he is. He's reacting to her, which is totally outside of our masculine core, because we haven't been taught how to be truly masculine. It's either hyper masculine or hyper effeminate and beta and broken and wounded masculine, but that's a different conversation. So we in reactive mode and responsive mode to it's you, because we're convinced of our own delusion of the first 2-3 weeks that we treated you the right way, not realizing we were emotionally, impulsively led in that space. Of course, we're going to do that. The dopamine, the oxytocin, all of those chemicals are just flowing. We horny, you know what I'm saying, in that first 2-3 weeks. But then when all of that emotion is gone, this is as a man now, because women are a little bit different. They're more emotionally attuned for a reason. But the complement to that is us. The masculine core is supposed to be the stoic factor. The real us comes forward when there are no emotions to ride. And so I do want women to hear this, so you understand when that man changes up, it ain't because your value changed. It ain't because you gained weight. It ain't because you ain't been wearing makeup lately. It ain't because of something you need to change or do differently. That man didn't get up every single day and choose to be the version of himself he presented to you in the beginning. That's why he learned too late. That man never considered that your love and the version of him that you gave to him was perishable if he didn't get up every single day and earn it. And so he went back to the basics of what got you once he lost you, because he's trying to get you again. Now he's back at square one of not having you. How do I get her? But it's too late. So it looks like he learned too late, but really he just revisited. He just had a review of chapter 1 all over again. He didn't learn too late, but he didn't use it, so he lost it. Does that make sense to anybody? Anybody getting what I'm saying? Share this if you're getting anything of value, because I feel like there's not enough people who are aware of what part our ignorance in this matter plays in the war against families. The media is against the family. The algorithms on social media are against the family. Even if there's not a person pushing the buttons, you see the stuff that goes viral. It's always the drama. It's always the negativity. There's a war against families. I will not sit idly by. Neither should you. Okay, I'm making sense. Good. So whenever you're with a man and he learns too late, he gets it too late, stop asking yourself the question of what you could have done differently, outside of recognizing when that man is not on a daily basis choosing himself, the best version of himself, from himself, not because of you. Of course, as a woman, I get it. Y'all want to be the motivators and stuff like that, but y'all are maximizers. Y'all are not creator of men. Y'all are maximizers of what men create. And I'm not saying that makes you less or anything like that, but when we don't understand that, you deal with, and we have a generation of men who are looking at women and pointing the finger and saying it's because of you, ladies. Yeah, you the reason why I don't. That don't even sound right to me. Yeah, I only did that because of you. Y'all ever been in an argument or a conversation with a man and it felt like there was no man present in terms of the masculine energy? It was two women. It was like, not that he's like literally effeminate in a like homosexual type of way, but like there's literally no stoic, stable anchoring in that dynamic of conflict between you two. Anybody ever felt like that? Put if you ever been in a situation where you were dealing with a man, maybe arguing, conflict, and as your emotions rise, his emotions rise. As you get loud, he get loud. We have a large group of today's men who, good, bad, or ugly, however you want to see it, have simply been misled on what it means to be a man. And I'm admitting I haven't always had it figured out. And I'm not saying it's 100% sure, but there's some things I know for sure. And as your big brother, I'm going to tell you this. Men and women are different. We are equal in value. We are not synonymous in function. So as a man, you can't look at a woman and say, well, vice versa. Yes, there are some things that are universal, vice versa. On the other foot, I get it, and that's fine. But you got to, as a man, know the difference. Some things ain't react. You're not supposed to be reacting to that woman like she's supposed to be reacting to you. But she's supposed to be reacting to you, doing what you're supposed to do, so that she can then be a better version of herself to maximize you. It works in our favor. Even if you're the most selfish, narcissistic guy, if you're a smart narcissist, at least you would say, damn, to get me, to get the best I can get, let me maximize her. That's the concept of narcissism is very interesting. Let's take out the fact that it's a buzzword. Everybody, just throwing out this diagnosis. I always was curious of that. As a narcissist, so many guys out here are being narcissistic. It's like, if you're a smart narcissist, wouldn't you want the best situation for yourself? And therefore go and say, how do I create the best environment? And the best environment is going to be a properly loved woman. A woman that doesn't have to wait till after she's broken to see the best version of you. Because if you do all of these things for the broken version of her, you're still only going to get a fraction of her love. It don't even make sense. We're not on morality, religion, psychology. We just on common sense. Y'all tell me if I'm speaking facts or fiction when I say, if you are self-serving as a man, it will be in your best interest to love that woman correctly. Because what you're going to get out of her is going to blow your mind, as opposed to what you're going to get out of a woman that's constantly defensive, that's constantly hurt, that's constantly paranoid about what you're doing, that's constantly in survival mode from what you've been doing to her. Like, am I missing something? Y'all let me know if I'm speaking facts or fiction. Facts? All right. Lacey said I'm speaking facts. The most narcissists, I'm like, are narcissists dumb then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm keeping it real with you. And we all have narcissistic traits, okay? We all have narcissistic kids, your mama, me, you, everybody got narcissists. But actual narcissists, we know that's the hot topic. Like, if you're smart though, I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. Anyway, why do men learn too late? And for those who are just joining in, the number one reason why a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men learn too late is because we don't think there's a such thing as too late. And then a lot of us don't understand that hindsight can be 2020 all it want to be. But some of the things that you're seeing clearly for the very first time are no longer there. There's a such thing as too little too late. Even though you can see it clearly, we think that this clarity of sight, this clarity of perspective, it earns or entitles us to another chance to show that we got it figured out now. No. It's like, in trigger warning, but people who, may have drank and drive, drove or whatever, and they passed away. Yeah, I'm sure they know now, right? But if they don't have an opportunity, it's a such thing as too little too late in all aspects of life. The same thing goes in a relationship. You drunk on ego, drunk on pride, drunk on selfishness, and not even the smart kind of selfishness, drunk on narcissistic traits, drunk on validation from everybody else and trying to be cool to your boys, drunk on never cutting ties with your exes or ex-flames. You drunk on that. But you mess around and have a fatal crash of that relationship, brother, you're not going to get another opportunity to get that right. And I'm coming to you with love. Like, it's the guys telling you on these podcasts that's a part of the war on families, that women are always the problem, women, blah, blah, blah. That ain't coming from love. Love is wanting to make sure you never end up in the spot where you regretting the woman that you can't get back. That's love. Love is realizing before you allow your children to be traumatized, your family to be traumatized by the splitting up in the distance that they now have from the children. Love is saying, don't even let it get that far. You got a woman with this, you got a child with this woman, you got a marriage with this woman, you got just a relationship that can lead to great things with this woman. Don't even let it get that far. Learn now before it's too late. Step up now. Choose the best version of you now. I guarantee you, bro, I'm going to go on a whim. Ladies, y'all back me up if I'm telling the truth. She not asking you to be perfect. She asking you to be exactly who it is you presented yourself as in the beginning. That's it. Whatever you was doing in the beginning, because she wouldn't have given you her attention if what you presented in the very beginning wasn't worth it. She didn't come in saying, maybe one day he'll be somebody I'm attracted to, into. She likes that version of you. She probably fell in love with that version of you. The only thing you got to do with a good woman is stay consistent with that vibe that you introduced her to. That's it. That's it. So sometimes maybe I'm just looking for shit at this point, excuse my language, but you might be thinking, well, she wants so much of me, I can't deliver. Matter of fact, let me do going on that, because there are reasons why a man will not necessarily just learn too late, but he'll be doing his thing in a relationship, y'all getting close and everything else, and then he'll just go cold. And one of those reasons is because a lot of men will self-inflict themselves with either shame or I can't do this, I can't step up, and we get to overthinking it. And that comes from childhood, unresolved trauma of being rejected. So basically, the framework there is, and I'm not going to stay on this too long because it's really deep, and I don't want to get too deep for social media. I do that in my courses and my master classes. But essentially, if the framework is, if I establish an object of love, somebody I love, I'm bound to lose them. I'm bound to be rejected. That's an unhealed abandonment wound in childhood. And like I was saying to y'all yesterday, the single most defining characteristic of the human personality is to remain consistent with who we believe we are. So if a man says, I am to be rejected, and he learned that in childhood, and he never did the work to heal from that abandonment wound framework, that narrative, he will look to make that consistent in adulthood. So what does that look like for you? That looks like you trying to love on him, y'all getting close, y'all doing y'all thing. But now that you've become an object of love, he says, I gotta bring into fruition this preconceived notion she's going to leave. So let me leave her. I gotta bring abandonment in. Let me abandon her before she abandons me. That's one of the reasons why, if you ever had a guy that you was getting close to, everything else, and you guys started getting close, that's one of the reasons why he suddenly fell back, got cold out of nowhere. See, a lot of men, not that doing what they don't want you to know, a lot of men can't even articulate that because we so busy coping and being functional, we haven't taken time to sit with our emotions and understand what's going on with us. And fellas, if you're watching this, I'm telling you now, as your big bro, if you cannot articulate what it is going on with you, you cannot articulate the directions for that woman to come in and love the real you. And so even if you get a real woman, she's going to be helpless on the outside looking in, not knowing what exactly you need or what to do. And so you can't, we always tell women, stop being bitter, bringing all this bitterness in new relationships. You can't be quote unquote bitter, unhealed, unresolved from all the things you've been through in your childhood to the point you can't receive this woman. And you backing off out of nowhere going cold is a form of you not being able to receive this woman. But I need y'all to understand something. Fellas, there are some people you can't push away for no reason because they ain't coming back. There are certain caliber of women you can't just push away when things get uncomfortable or you upset, because some women ain't coming back. You can't throw them and discard them and then you think that you're going to hit them up and they actually going to answer every time, especially if you've done it at some point before. Now you need to disabuse yourself of the notion that because you upset or you're just going through a lot right now, just life is just, hey, look, I get it, but there are consequences. There's cause and effect. And if that woman has a healthy sense of self, there's a limit to the number of times you're going to be able to do that and still get through to her phone. DM, Instagram, text message, etc. I just want to throw that in, word to the wise. That's one of the reasons why a guy will suddenly get cold. Another reason why a guy will get suddenly cold, and this ties into the whole why men learn too late. Because what happens is he starts off hot. That's how he even got your attention and hooked you. And then boom, he's not the man that you need him to be and what he presented himself as. But then afterwards, he gets it right all of a sudden. He has this epiphany. God just speaks to him out of nowhere. God was on mute all this time, but now the volume is on and he can hear God. Another reason why in that space where he fell off, he just went cold on you is because his ex that he never got over started showing signs of life. Y'all will be surprised how many dudes are still in love with a woman that they fumbled before they met you. And I hate to say it like that because I ain't trying to scare you. But sometimes some of y'all listening to the woman that a man fumbled and he ain't over you yet. So he trying to function in his new relationship. He confusing the hell out of you and the new girl because you're like, hold on, wait, I'm thinking that you already happy in something different. What's going on? Put I down in the chat. If you had a dude that's no longer, you either left him, he left you, and he's still trying to get back with you or get another chance with you while in a whole new relationship. That was supposed to be your upgrade. He supposed to upgrade from you. Put I down in the chat if you've ever had that situation. You ain't got to tag nobody. But if you've ever had that situation, Elizabeth says, okay, yeah, all right, I got some truth tellers in here. So with that being said, A lot of times, again, stop blaming yourself. I think foolishness is haunting men of today. And it's more so foolish pride. It's not just foolishness like we're dumb, because I always say this, we're not dumb, but pride. But let me say this, a lot of what is plaguing women today is shame that's undue, unwarranted, unearned shame. Release yourself from the shackles of shame that man just fell back, went cold, got inconsistent, or anything like that. 99.9% of the time, there was something internal, totally away from you, and something that happened or was happening before you came along, and you just came into that mix, but it ain't got nothing to do with you directly. By the way, if you're getting anything of value from this, I actually need 10 people to share this right now. So we can stop this, man. Like this war on the family, it's like the odds are against us if we're not willing to step out of, again, fellas, foolish pride, ladies, undue, unwarranted shame. That's what they're using to pit us up against each other. Or have those of us who have big hearts, the empaths of us, getting led off a cliff, trying to love ourselves out of this. Trying to like give our way, give our heart, give our love out of this mess that families and relationships have become today. And a lot of y'all are in that situation. You may not think of it like that, but every time that you came to him trying to resolve conflict and you knew he was never receptive before, that was you trying to love him out of that conflict, that tension, that relationship being in that pit where it was at. That was your effort to love both of y'all out of that situation. When you came to him still being affectionate, still rubbing backs, still cooking meals, and he didn't deserve it, and your cup was running empty while his was full and overflowing, that was your effort, whether you knew it or not, to try and love the relationship out of that mess, and you were only making things worse. That's why afterwards, you had even less of yourself to give that relationship. That's why even afterwards, your friends and family didn't get the same version of you. That's why your work, your kids may have not even gotten the same version of you. You were making it worse as you try to love your way out of that. And that's what empaths do. That's the language, that's the weapon, that's the shield, the love, the heart. That's how empaths are rolling. But empaths also have to have like a scanning radar to know when there are certain traps that's going to use and leverage the fact that you're an empath against you to hurt you and break you. That's part of the war against families. And I went in on that, so I'm not going to go in right now. If you want access to that masterclass where I detailed and I broke down for free the traps that empaths typically get caught in, if they don't know any better, if they don't have a big brother like or somebody that's laid it out as an empath, this is how you stay heartbreak trauma free out here in these dating streets. Click the link that you see pinned right there. You don't have to go out here unarmed, undefended, unprotected anymore. And you don't have to become this savage or be inauthentic to who you truly are. You can still keep that big heart of yours, but it needs a protection. Just like if you was walking around here a whole multi-millionaire, billionaire, you'd probably have some type of security wherever you go. But a lot of y'all, you have $1 billion heart and it ain't got no kind of lock on it. It ain't got no kind of security gate. It ain't got no kind of passcode. It ain't got the one that it need. And that's why it keeps getting broken. Again, that masterclass is free. It's at the link down in the bottom. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, it's at the top. Moral of the story is this, though, man. When a man learns too late, I can honestly say I've never seen him not have the fair opportunity to learn before it was too late and show and prove that he got the lesson. But if a man is learning too late, don't position yourself as his teacher. And don't leave him to teach him the lesson. Leave him because you finally learned yours. That time is the most precious resource we cannot get back. It's one thing if you waste your money. It's a whole nother thing if that man wastes years of your life as you try to love him while he was being so unloving to you. Those are just my thoughts. If you got anything from it, though, all I ask is that you pay it forward to somebody on your timeline by hitting the share button. Wherever that little thing is, a little arrow or whatever, hit the share button if you got something of value from this, so somebody else on your timeline can also be blessed by this message. And if You have not yet gotten access to my masterclass before it's come down, the free masterclass, 7 traps an empath should never ignore, and you know that you're an empath deep down, you'll thank me later. And you'll be grateful you did later. But right now, go ahead and register, get access to that masterclass where I went in on the traps you must avoid out here in these dating streets so you can keep your heart pure and unbroken. I'll let y'all lady, I'll be good, man. Peace.